What is up, you beauties? My name is BatchatBegins, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing something that I've been waiting to come into the game for quite a long time, and that is this offer that has come up today for the Carnarvon Action X and the Progetto 46. Now, I already have the Carnarvon Action X, and I really do like it. It's a great tank, but the Progetto 46 is what I've been waiting for a long time. And now you can get your hands on both tanks for not a ton of gold. Like, as you can see, the offers for them are very, very nice. I mean, instead of having to gamble and play for loot boxes, you can go ahead and buy yourself a tank with that gold that you've saved up, which is a very nice change. And obviously, you can get the two of them with full equipment for 17,500 gold, which is not too bad. Now, some of the things I will say, I do value the Progetto 46 over the Carnarvon Action X simply because of that auto reloader, and it is a great auto reloader at that. It has a very short interclip time as well as very good burst damage and maneuverability. Along with that gun depression, this makes for a very, very deadly tank, but the Carnarvon Action X is no slouch. It has a good armor profile, good upper plate, and great turret. The only problem with the turret is it does have that hatch on top that you need to be aware of, so keep moving, obviously to try and bait enemies into missing. And it also has a little bit better side armor than the normal Carnarvon does. And you will see that in the games we're going to take a look at today. First of all, we will take a look at my first ever game in the Progetto 46, playing here with a clanmate of mine, Chariot of Bad Jokes, here on the Oasis Palms map. And this is going to be a bit of a tricky one because I didn't know it at the time, but our Smasher and our SU are going to be camping for the majority of the first half of the battle, meaning that we're going to have to play a lot more passive. And I didn't know that, so I accidentally lost a lot of health in my first few engagements here. And that's one thing you need to be aware of when playing the 46, is that it has practically no armor. Think STA1 when you think of the armor profile for this thing. You can get a couple bounces off the turret if you're very, very lucky, but overall, this tank has absolutely no armor, and it's not great to be trading shots in this thing, unless you're trading with one vehicle and you know that you'll out-reload it. That's the really good thing about auto-reloaders, is that you can out-damage tanks most of the time. As you can see right here, I thought I was going to be able to go ahead and pressure the Borsig here, which would have been nice, but I get hit for 284 from my left. That could be the RU firing HE. It could be a number of things, but I also get tapped by the Chimera. And I notice about now at this point that the Smasher is kind of sitting in the back, and I'm trying to get them to move. I pinged the map, and I go ahead and say move out of spawn. And it's kind of frustrating at this point because we're stalemating really hard. They have the advantage here with numbers. They have almost, I think it's 5 people here, and we only have the tanks that we currently have right now, and the ones that we do have are on low health. And unfortunately, my platoon mate doesn't quite have the gun depression or armor profile to kind of be fighting those tanks that can go hull down against him. So I'm just looking for opportunity shots. Is there going to be any tanks that mess up and back up, or potentially move into the fire, keeping my eye on that Chimera and the Panther 2, and potentially the RU-201. As we know at the moment, there's something, maybe two, I think we haven't seen 2 tanks, the SU-101 and the IS-2. And you'll see in a bit the IS-2 is camping in spawn. I do call the Smasher a monkey because he's acting a bit brain dead, which is unfortunate. We do get a very nice snap into the RU, but as you can see, even though I am moderately hulled down, all the RU has to do is just snap a shot, and he instantly hits me there. So, like I said, if you're trading, try to be more effectual in your trades than I am here. I thought at this point that I was unspotted, but I was not. So now we have to play the entire game like I should have been playing in the first part of the game. We have to play like I'm a one-shot. And that's the smartest thing to do when you're playing in these lighter tanks. It keeps you alive longer, and it makes you more effective because you have to play very, very safe. Right now, there's no way I'm going to be winning that brawl that's over there, so I have to leave that to my team. I'm going to try to save my SC-152 platoon mate, or not my platoon mate, but one of my teammates here on my team. As you can see, the enemy at SC-101 does miss. We're going to be putting all of that damage into him right now, and we drop him down to a one-shot, which is fantastic. get a very lucky bounce. The RU shot just a little bit late, and we're going to position to run away in case we low roll, but we don't. We go ahead and finish off the SU-101, which was a good clutch right there. We got another tank down on their team, and it looks like for the most part our team have cleaned up here on the medium side. So that leaves a pretty decent player running around in a one-shot RU-251 and that IS-2 that's sitting in spawn. So I can't push right now. At this point, I ping the map where I know the IS-2 has been sitting the entire game, and I'm waiting for my team to go ahead and spot him out because I can deal quite a bit of damage with this auto reloader, as you will see here soon enough. We know the exact bush he's in, and obviously I fire just to make sure he's still there, and he is. We do get spotted in return, so I'm going to wait until I'm unspotted, and as you can see, I've already reloaded that third shell back into the clip. That's that awesome auto reloader working again. So I know I'm unspotted now. I'm just waiting for the T-34-3 to go ahead and spot the IS-2 out. We're going to aim. The one thing you do want to make sure of is that you aim your shells properly in this tank because it does have a little bit of accuracy problems. And coupled with the pin, it can make for an issue. So with that, we get out 3 shells into the IS-2, dealing a good amount of damage by the time we're almost finished here, and it takes him out completely. So, at this point, we're just going to go ahead and catch the RU-251 at the end, and we'll go ahead and skip to that part. So, just some things to mention before we wrap this replay up for the Progetto. Remember, play very cautiously, single out targets, that's what autoloaders are good for, and try to take situations in which you can out-DPM the enemy from either a distance or when they're not paying attention. Overall, this is definitely an amazing tank. I would say, for me, this is the best tier 8 in the game, in my opinion, right now. So let's go ahead and move on to the second tank in the game, and that is the Carnarvon Action X. Now, I really, really like this tank. If you didn't know, I'm a big fan of the Sheriff as well. The other, it's a tier 8 American heavy tank, and I really, really like that. It's because it's got good penetration, it's got a fast-firing gun, and it has a very good hull-down armor profile. Another thing that I mentioned in previous videos is that I really like my hull-down tanks, and this is definitely one of them. So, at the moment, I was taking a look at the enemy team, and I don't want to go ahead and fight a KPZ and an enemy Caernarvon Action X while on the mid-ridge there, because they could rush me and they could put in a lot of damage. So I'm going to position here in the middle and see if we can get some shots off into them while they're trying to fight on that mid-ridge. And this is always a good spot to try to go ahead and get some damage in. Now, I think I do whiff a couple of my first shots. I should have shot a little bit earlier there to go ahead and go through the side armor of the Action X. But as you can see, the enemy Action X, you can see the side armor is not too bad with the thing. And as you can see, we have a lot of good gun depression, so I went ahead and took a shot onto the IS-5 with APCR, and it goes right through his front plate. Unfortunately, firing on the move does not always get it. So I'm trying to position well here so I can get some side shots in from the cap circle area, which is going to work out very, very nicely. We get one shot into the Type 61, as you can see from the breach on that gun, he's running the STA-1 gun, so he is stock for all intents and purposes in the gun department. So at this point, everyone's backed off the mid-ridge, and I'm here with my IS-3, and I'm thinking, well, there's no better option than to go ahead and push across here and see if we can get some shots into these tanks that are hiding back here. As you can see, even with AP, the IS-5's armor profile is not great, and at this moment, I'm just trying to go ahead and block some shots. We do take a shot from the Type 61, and the thing at the moment right now, we're kind of surrounded, so I have to kind of keep my head on a swivel and make sure that I'm not taking damage from anything where I can't, block anything. So at the moment, the M41 90 is over there on the right, and so is the Pershing. And they're not really paying attention to me too much right now, so I'm just getting some shots through the Type 61's cupola there. And potentially, if the IS-5 does push up enough, we'll be able to shoot into the side of his turret or potentially the hull. So that's kind of what I have in my mind right now. Getting some opportunity shots where we can. That Pershing has decided that he wants to focus us a bit, but we do get a nice bounce on him. The IS-5 either hits our hull or the lower plate there and goes through, but we have more than enough DPM to deal with him. We'll be able to get out 3 shots every time he fires once. So, with this amazing 4.2 second reload with rammer, it's definitely devastating. So at this point, I was thinking, let's just go ahead and face the Borsig, but it looks like the Type 61 and the Action X on the left are being a bit aggressive, so we want to deal with these guys first. There's not a really great way to hide the hull here. You need a little bit more than 10 degrees of gun depression to work this spot. So I'm just trying to find a way to get a shot on the 61 without having to trade any health, because I am already pretty low. So Type 61 gets distracted and we shoot another shot into his cupola. And right now, we're just going to get as much damage as we can here on the enemy Action X. As you can see, you can side scrape in this thing. I over-angled here, and while trying to run away, I did lose some HP. And unfortunately here, just kind of lagged a little bit and went a little too far out. But overall, 3.1k damage. Not too bad for a tier 8. And as you can see, we absolutely dominated while we were hauled down. We might have taken some damage, but thanks to that massive health pool and the DPM, we were able to trade out a lot more. So, guys, I would highly recommend you pick this bundle up, and if you're just going to try to buy one tank, would definitely recommend that Progetto 46. It's an absolute monster. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll maybe do some more shop stuff in the future if anything great comes out. I just want to recommend the absolute best for you, and this is definitely one of those. So my name has been BatchatBegins. All relevant links will be down in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one.